I don't really need to rest, but you guys look like you're pretty beat up.
We need to rest, I say, pointing to Magnifico and myself.
Fair enough.
Alright.
How do we?
I only need to rest for 4 hours though, so that's good.
Aridel, if we land in the woods, would you want to go hunting? Maybe find some game we can cook. If we don't have to wait, because we're being fed, aren't we? Never mind, we don't need to.
I'm not much of a hunter myself.
No, don't need to be. We have magic.
Surely that ruins the sport of it though.
I mean, what's the difference? It's a ranged attack. It takes skill to aim it. That's same thing. Plus,
Maybe.
with my fireballs, it cooks it already.
Violently cooks it.
Violently, but
Do I need to
That's
tell
not-
you we like cooked meat, not burnt?
I like it a little crispy.
Okay. Does he have to open lower the drawbridge every time he lands?
No, he doesn't have to. So we close all the windows and keep the door closed, and pack up for the night essentially. Have a closed night in a cozy night. And he tells stories that he provides illusions for cast against the wall. Great stories of Ostoria when the giants and the dragons warred, and stories of how the giants taught basically everyone everything. As far as his version of history goes, everything that your people, the dwarves, the elves, the humans have ever done, have ever accomplished, they accomplished because the giants taught them how to do it, and that the giants have always done it better and still do it better. That's
I'm gonna write it
That's his
down,
version.
but like write citation needed next to it.
Alright. During the night, it becomes apparent that maybe somewhere between half a mile away, there is a small village, or maybe a large village, of 100 people, 200, 300 even, here in the forest. You can hear them beating drums and arguing and roaring and fighting. They don't speak the common tongue.
Probably Uthgard.
Do I hear what language they would speak, or like what?
What languages have you got?
Uga.
I will post them.
None of these.
How
I
about
guess it's not draconic.
Not Draconic.
Elvish, Draconic, Sylvan, Common. That's it.
None of those, no.
Celestial, Undercommon, Elvish, Giant, Sylvan, Draconic? None of them. Probably.
None of those. It's
Cool,
a
yeah.
guttural language, it's a roaring language, it's a violent language, and their music consists
be
of nothing
orcs.
but drums.
Could be orcs or goblins, maybe. Or a separate language for the Uthgard.
Hey, Zephyros, do you know what they're saying?
Ah, I could cast a spell to understand their dialect.
How far away is
Yeah.
the noise?
Somewhere between half a mile and a mile. In the forest, it's a bit difficult to tell, but you can kind of see the illumination of their camps as well. So yeah, roughly 1 kilometer away.
They're starting a war.
Considering in Roz's backstory he did fight with orcs, does the
Ah,
way they're talking sound similar to orc?
identical, yeah. I except it's a little more composed. It kind of sounds like orcs with a purpose, orcs with leadership instead of just fighting constantly and arguing all the time.
Could be dangerous. I'll relay that to the group.
A wolf howls and joins in the song.
Uh-oh.
Other wolves join it.
I'll join it. Fit in the wolf. Let out a wolf's howl.
Oh, woo!
Mm-hmm.
Make a performance check.
Where is? There it is.
Yeah, you do an excellent wolf. The wolves answer your howl.
I'll
Um,
turn to whoever's with me and be like, my mother used to do it better. She
Huh.
could mimic any animal.
My channel divinity says I get a proficiency on one skill or tool. Is
Okay.
is skills also like languages and stuff?
Yeah.
Or just the straight skills?
Well, it would. You could make like an insight check, and in that case, it would give you advantage on the insight. Yeah.
I think he wants to use it to like learn the language for like 10 minutes.
Yeah. Probably
Yeah.
not gonna be effective, huh?
As I said, it probably give you an advantage on. There's beyond that, like it's either a wisdom or an intelligence check or something like that, and you'd have advantage on that, however you frame it. So, yeah,
okay.
yeah,
I just won't use it though.
no worries.
Just wanted to see your ruling.
Yeah, I'd make it an insight check, which you'd then have advantage on.
Cool. Yep.
They don't disturb you through the night, so if you're keen to leave them alone, then nothing will occur during the night in the safety and sanctuary of your castle.
No reason to annoy them. Surely.
I agree. I'd rather not get tussled up with them.
And no reason to piss off the locals, kind of thing.
Wild's still
Mm,
sleeping.
We're near enough to Neverwinter where they'd probably deal with them.
It's honestly probably better that the wild's asleep. You probably want to go fight them.
What does the manticore
Fair
do?
enough.
Is it also sleeping?
Yeah,
Probably. I'm probably just sleeping against it or something.
and
Oh.
the griffin has beaten it up and has driven it off so that the griffin can sleep with wild gold instead. The poor manticore has to go and sleep by itself.
I haven't even realized
Oh.
I was still sleeping. I'm a heavy sleeper.
That's it. You went to bed with the manticore, wake up beside the griffin.
It's like having two cats.
Heh.
My manticore turned into a griffin.
Magic.
Alright. Coolio.
Alright, so you take off the next day and fly another 20 miles through the woods in order to.
Time to refresh them
avoid,
portents.
Yeah, refresh those portents.
Ooh, that's good.
Full HP.
Yeah,
Change one of my
that's
spells around.
perfect.
Yeah, I might do a couple spell changes. Haven't needed to, really.
You get half your hit dice back, Tyler. Your total.
2 or 1? Because I have 3 hit dice.
Roll down, round down every time.
Round down, so 1.
Yeah.
Radio.
Yeah, I guess that's that.
Yeah, you
Unless
always
it-
round down, so.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Unless specified otherwise.
precisely. You've been traveling for about 3 days now, and on the third day, as you see the Desserin River and I think it was the Neverwinter River, one of the rivers, and a forest spread out underneath you, you become aware that there are some large birds trailing you. They're not circling; they're just sort of following you on the wind, keeping an even pace. They look like giant vultures, and after you focus in on them, you get a really good look on them. You can see that they have riders on their backs.
Excuse me, do you have a like a looking glass on board?
Oh yes,
no.
yeah.
Can I
What
borrow
a
it?
splendid idea!
Oh, is it my size?
Probably
I,
put two faces into the eye hole.
I'm afraid not, but perhaps your friend Roz can put it on his back. Well, you could use him as a turret.
Could you hold it for me if you can, or are you too busy with the tower?
Wait, you talking to Roz right now or the giant?
I was talking to John, but let's just do what he
Okay.
suggested. Hey Roz, could
Okay.
you help out? let's have a closer look at these
Yeah.
figures.
Sure. I'm always happy to help.
Alright, you can see that that they are humans. They are wearing steel helmets that cover their eyes and resemble stylized bird heads. One of them has a shoulder bag adorned with a smiling face. And again, I just can you your languages are Sylvan? They have runes.
Elvish?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sorry?
Elvish, Draconic, and Sylvan.
Yeah, cool. They have runes on their shields and on their helmets, but not in a language that you can understand.
Okay. Do I know anything about like a clan or a gang that wear like bird helmets and
Good question. Make it a history
Right.
check. DC 15.
3? Not great. Nope. I can't say I do.
Negative.
I'll call out. Does everyone else have a look while Roz has got the looking glass on his back?
Wild will have a look. And can I make a history check or something? Because
Yeah,
I'm
go
a bounty
ahead.
hunter. I might have heard of them or something.
Yeah, good call. Yeah.
14.
They're the flying
Alright.
fuckwads.
14. You remember references about them, but not specifically who they are. But you do remember that there was like a very large and complex cult that had some sort of elemental theme, and the cult was divided into 4 sections for each element. And the flying guys wore helmets like this, but the details are kind of lost on you. But you do remember that they were destroyed quite soundly 5 or 10 years ago.
Pretty sure these guys are supposed to be dead. They're an old cult, I'm pretty sure. Not much I remember though.
Well, they look very much alive and they look very eager on us, but should we speed up or slow down?
Do they know us? Do they know
Does
you?
it look like they
guys, or do you
are
know
trying
them?
to approach, but they're not
They-
quite fast enough, or they're just clearly tailing?
They're tailing at the moment. Yeah, that's what it looks like. They've been.
Champions tailing us. It's really rude of them.
We can't have them follow us further. We should confront them.
How many are there?
There are 3 of them, and
Oh,
each
okay.
one rides a giant griffin. That's a pretty good picture, actually. I'll see if I can.
A griffin?
Giant
Sorry, a
vulture,
giant
wasn't
giant vulture. Giant vulture.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was gonna say.
Can I make a nature check to see which one's better, a vulture or a griffin?
Yeah,
Probably a
absolutely.
griffin.
I was just wondering which one's better in battle.
Fuck, that thing's huge.
It is pretty big. Hi.
That's not a rock, unfortunately.
Let's see, giant vulture. Yeah. The griffins would usually rip these things to pieces 9 times out of 10.
Okay, good to know.
Can Wild's gonna say to Magnifico Gold, come on with me, and we'll go up to the top on that tower that Roz was on before, and
Yeah.
just stand up there. I'm gonna tell him to get ready to shoot at him if he can. If they
Excellent.
come close enough.
I'm gonna
Excellent.
resend that picture of the tower just so we can have it sitting there.
Good idea. They do get quite close, and one of them calls out from the back of his griffin, "We wish to speak to the master of the tower."
Hold on. I'll go back down. I'll say, Magnifico, stay there. I'll go down, and I'll tell Zephyros that they want to talk to him.
Ah, what do you think they want?
I don't know. They're some cultist fuckhead.
Huh. Do you
My
think we
guess is
should
that-
let them in?
Probably
I think
not.
it's a good-
Probably just go to the
I-
top.
What do
I
the rest
they
of
might
you
want
think?
Your head.
My head? You're not going to let them take it, are you?
Obviously
No.
not. But there is a bounty out for giants' heads right now, and they might want the money.
Oh.
I'll look through my bounties to see if he's got a bounty specifically, or like
No.
just the general bounty is for them.
Yeah, I think you get 400 gold for him.
You're a 400 gold one, boy.
Ah, he seems disappointed. I would have liked to be ranked in the thousands.
If they wanted your head, I think they would have attacked by now. They would not be gesturing to approach.
If they take
They
my
asked-
head, I bequeath you my castle.
Oh, thank you.
It's very kind, but we shouldn't. We won't let them do that. We'll defend.
It seems
It's
like they
alright.
want to talk.
We should let
You
them at
should.
least try.
Do you think?
Just
Yeah, come to
talking
the
with them.
top.
No problem.
All right.
I'll lead him to the top, where
Alright, so-
Magnifico is holding them at bay.
Apprentice, would you like to take the wheel?
Sure, I'll give it a go.
Yeah, an arcane phrase. This is how you do it. And he shows you how to use a spell jamming helm, which is to say, he shows you how to fly a ship that is not meant to fly.
Okay.
Yeah, that means we
Requires,
can
like,
move every hour of the
constant-
day.
That's pretty much right. Yeah, sure. I didn't think of that. It requires you to constantly feed in cantrips. You're just constantly feeding low-level energy, and it keeps the ship afloat.
Okay. Well,
Does
now
it like
that
drop a
that is-
meters like they pass over control?
Yeah, it does. Yeah, so he starts to. You get the hang of it. It swirls, it surges, it dances a little bit. Who are you, and what do you want? Ah, brave cloud giant Zephyros, we come to you with an offer. If we could have some privacy, please. I don't think anyone down on the ground can hear us from. We went. Master, we have an offer for you. An offer of alliance. Oh, yes. We come representing the elemental evil of air, or Yansi Bin. We have a desire, as she does, to return this world to its primordial state as it was at the dawn of history. My lord, we know that you are a powerful cloud giant and that you would have great influence among others of your kind, and we beg that you see us as brothers, as brethren and sisters, allied together, the elemental winds, clouds, and storms. Join us, and together we will return this world to its primordial state. We will make things as they were when life began on this world.
So
What say you?
what was the world like in its primordial stage?
Well, he explains, it was filled with chaos and possibility. Volcanoes and vast endless forests, turbulent seas. It was wild and like a boiling, never-ending soup. It was a thing of wonder, of magnificence. What do you think? Do you think I should aid them in their quest to render this world the way it was at the dawn of time?
This is some sort of outer game thing. They did say elemental evil, or did I not miss something?
They did, yeah.
Okay. So-
Sebin is the elemental evil of air.
What
How's it
they say
spelled?
they are evil, I would not assist them.
Yeah, evil's in their name. You probably shouldn't.
Sounds like a bit of an undertaking too. I think the ordering is more of a
More
threat
important.
right now.
Remember the prophecy? We have one task already.
Oh. Yes, I think you must be right. We give you our decision. Blow off,
Blow off.
you foolish old giant. You short-sighted Nimrod. You will regret this. You will regret this. The world is returned to its primal state. We shall not forget your reluctance to join us. Well, goodbye then.
When we fucked everything, we won't forget you.
I really want one of them to have force one of them to make a roll to stay on their griffin because I've got the best porter.
Just gust of wind them.
Are they within range of Magnifico's tail?
Yeah, they are.
Oh,
Oh,
no.
Nah, we shouldn't attack them like straight away.
We shouldn't attack them. All right.
They're already leaving, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Blow off, asshole.
Alright. Well, that was exciting. He goes back and, how did you handle the ship? How did you find it?
Oh, it is quite the experience. Is it hard, or I'm just pumping a cantrip after cantrip into it as quick every 6 seconds, and
And then that's easy enough. Like, as long as all you're trying to do make it levitate, make it. It's like giving the driver's seat to a kid of a car, but leaving it in neutral and with the park brake on. As long as you don't do anything, nothing should go wrong. And that's
Can
your
I-
just yeah.
Does a
can I roll
backflip.
my magic percent chance table to see if my wild magic would pour into it?
Good call. Yeah.
Is it like 5%?
Oh my god! It happens.
All right. The ship suddenly surges because and everyone as the entire castle suddenly moves forward 100 feet.
I think you should probably take over now.
All right. So make an Arcana check. See if you're able to hold. Bah!
Can I-
Yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna use my inspiration.
Yeah, absolutely. Beautiful. So the entire castle suddenly plummets 100 feet out of the air, down to the, and it seems that you all like crash to immediate doom. But you manage to get hold of it, feeding it energy. And why don't you try to bring it down?
All right. Can you explain how to do that?
He gives you the instructions, and together you slowly lower the tower. Bam!
Oh, does he like reach around behind him like Ghost?
No, fortunately he comes from the front. So like, yeah.
Beat a sweat on my brow. I breathe out a sigh as we land.
Hungry as.
That was very well done. You deserve some candy. And he gives you
Wow.
some sweets.
Candy's the size of his head.
So he's not
That's
beyond
it.
He's not beyond the classic cloud giant condescension.
a big rainbow colored lollipop.
Gives him like a thread. It's like the size of him.
Yeah, that's it. I think that's it.
This is the smallest I have.
Use it as a weapon.
Precisely.
Blunt great axe.
Great club.
Cast catapult on it.
You can sharpen it.
Jesus Christ.
Giant
landed
hard
again.
candy.
Exactly. A jawbreaker. You've learned it again, but soon enough, maybe after a brief stroll outside, you're ready to take off. The journey continues for the rest of the day, and you make it miles without any further challenges, any true dangers. You've now well and truly bypassed Neverwinter, and you're continuing on your journey up towards the spine of the world. It won't be very long before you reach Bryn Shendar, only a matter of days. Though the gnome couldn't be any happier because this is it's all happening a lot faster than he'd anticipated. And
Oh, is Thwip with
hopefully
us?
yeah, I think Thwip came along. I'm pretty sure he would have joined.
No,
in
we
the,
just
uh,
left
the
him.
wagon
We
more.
just left him by like the mayor of dead men.
Oh shit!
He's
Yeah,
so
we
stressed
got
the
Thwip
entire
with
time,
us.
just downing coffee,
Yeah, that's it. Like,
fucking bouncing off the walls.
and he's a bit seasick or airsick.
No, he's only just finished his giant-sized coffee bean. He's just chewing through it.
It's been a big day.
Imagine the bitterness. Ugh.
Are we gonna get paid at the end of this trip from him?
Yeah. But aren't you being paid per day?
That's what I
can't
thought. I
remember.
was just wondering if
I don't
if
think we
he's tallying up
specified.
or
I can't remember. I can't even remember what the price was.
it's just 1 gold per day, I
Yeah,
believe.
it's like 1 gold a day.
That's what I thought. So like, yeah, you're not going to get much pay at the end because it's been a quick trip after all.
So we started from
Maybe
where?
it'll give us a bonus. Who knows?
The bottom. Now we're here.
It's been 3
Yeah.
3 days so far. Yeah, or 4.
Oh, no, not
Deep.
completely. No. So we started from Waterdeep.
Oh, you did. Yeah. Yeah, so that's only 3 days, I think. Oh no, but plus all the days before you met the
Yeah.
giant. Yeah.
Oh, I can measure it out real quick.
Yeah.
Wild is gonna say to Magnifico to go outside and prepare for some flight training, and then he's gonna go to Griffin Gold and say that I need you out there just in case he's shit at flying because you're really good at flying, so you can catch me. Because I can't bring you with me. I've got to train him.
Make a persuasion roll.
Alright, where's my sheet? There it is. Persuasion, there. Come on. 19.
Your griffin sighs. How could it let you, go into such danger, such an ill-prepared beast? It's as likely to dump you as it is to let you ride it. So, it better go out there.
Alright, and we're just gonna fly along with the castle.
Excellent. The Manticore is a perfectly good rider, a perfectly good flyer, and you're a great rider. And the Griffin kind of looks on a little forlorn and sad, but dutiful nonetheless. All right.
It's really guilt tripping you out of switching mounts so quickly.
What am I supposed to do? Like, we're gonna
Griffin will remember that. Griffin Gold will remember that.
Yeah,
Tyler's one of those mount hoppers.
That's it.
But before we land, the Griffin's gonna eat the tail off of the Manticore.
Can I look for something in all the gear I've bought in the caravan and stuff? In our wagon, something that would work as a memento to give Griffin Gold, as a necklace or something with a little piece of gold on the end, or a
Your
collar
greatsword.
sort of thing.
You learn that Griffins love gold. They have a great love of gold. They weave it into. It's like a bowerbird with blue.
I'll give it the full gold nugget that I have.
It covers it. It has a new toy, and you see it looking at the gold and just playing with it the way a cat might play with its newest toy.
I have 2 eggs.
Cat eggs?
Nah, from the chicken, since I haven't been eating chicken eggs so far. because we've been getting fed by Zephyros.
Oh, what about
so I've got
Bora?
chicken
Did we
eggs
bring
saved.
him?
Yeah, they're on board.
Yeah, Boro's coming along definitely.
Alright.
Luro would have
Luro would have dragged her.
Exactly.
Yeah, I said I'd bring the card in. So
Yeah.
We can get another cart now and have Magnifico Gold. Oh, probably not. He's probably too proud.
I mean, it's very intelligent. I think it'd be kind of debasing for it.
Insulting.
Yeah.
I wonder what a Manticore's intelligence is.
Enough to speak. So
Yeah.
So at least
6
3, I think.
minimum, I
2
think?
languages, the same as me.
There's going to be at least 3, because I think 3 is the minimum for sentience.
Yeah, but then it's you have. Is there another minimum? Isn't 5 or 6 minimum for speaking? I think it's something like that. And then there's a minimum for reading and writing.
Which is 8. Pretty sure, is that right?
I don't know. One of them.
Sounds about right, yeah.
We could search it up later.
Oh. On Reddit, there is no rule for the ability to read.
Oh, okay.
Self-imposed illiteracy is if you wish. All right. Cool, yeah.
All right.
It...
You continue your journey through the sky. You travel further. They pass without incident high, heady winds. And you will now be passing the Mirar River in Luskan. If you have any desire to stop there, you can do
wherever
so.
at Luskan, I'll move us over there.
Yeah, it's another 2 days, and
shit.
you get another more than 100 miles. It's all passing quite safely now, but the winds begin to pick up at this point. They become strong and blustery and very cold. As a result, many of the windows are kept shut. The storm giant is perfectly fine in the freezing cold, but some of you are not.
I've got a cool outfit.
I'm completely fine because of the
I've got-
axe and the coat.
Yeah, but my
I've got
blood
Ugg
is
boots.
my blood is too cool. So I mean,
It's a little warm in here, don't you guys think? Minus 100 degrees Celsius is what I can survive.
my character probably couldn't survive anything. He's got cold blood.
Dies.
Would you mind if we do a quick stop in Luskan?
Fahrenheit.
I was just gonna pick up a few things.
Oh, he'd be happy to. How close would?
He probably knows how
I guess I
close
could
he
just take
can
my
get without
griffin
getting-
down and quickly
Ooh.
jump into the shop.
I suppose I'm still using
Ooh.
prestidigitation to keep myself warm.
Yeah, sounds handy.
I want to see if I can get a custom-made saddle for the Manticore, so I'll also go into town.
All
Fuck,
right.
how much
Ugh.
money is
Are you
there?
riding a manticore down or?
Hell yes, I am.
Uh,
Would I
will
know of any?
Stop outside and walk in with it, though.
Before you
obviously.
guys leave, I think, Wild, do you know anything about any civilizations at all?
Yeah, I'm a bounty hunter. I've been
I-
to some of them.
I don't think they'll let you in with Manticore. I think they'd try to kill you on sight.
All right, hold on. I'm gonna try to measure it. I'm just gonna,
Or
get
it's-
hand lengths,
it's
arm
probably-
lengths.
Also, would I know of any like
to-
common enough magic items that would protect against the cold? Like maybe a ring of
Um,
warmth.
Yeah, those sort of things. Yeah, they come in all sorts of charms. Sometimes built into shields or anything. But yeah, a ring is typical.
you're
We should probably buy
better
a few
off,
of these items because we're about to go into the cold.
A couple. Yeah, we could probably like land a couple thousand feet away from Luskan and hoof it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
I
that's
think that'd be better.
like yeah, you can like walk that in like 10 minutes maybe.
All right. So as you fly within the vicinity of Luskan, you get a view of what the town looks like from a distance of, say, a mile, so a couple of miles. It's on the coast, and the docks make up a significant portion of the city. It's built on 2 banks of a river, a very cold river, and in the middle of that river, right where it meets the sea, is an island. That island, from a distance, appears to be a dead tree. This tall tree, 100 feet tall, with winding, twisting branches coming off it, and there's a great deal of smoke rising from within the harbour of Luskan. You're at a pretty safe distance at this point. Would you like to land and travel like more than a mile, or do you want to get closer?
Do you think we would scare them if we got a bit closer?
Probably. Put them on guard at least. Would you like me to put an image in of Luskan?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, go ahead.
Try and find one that's unmarked, but this one's the best one. But it's got writing on it, but none of us can
That's
really
all
make
good.
sense of it anyway.
It's no big deal anyway. Like, you'll probably soon hear things like the Arcane Brotherhood and stuff.
Ah, yeah.
It's a really nice image.
Okay.
It is actually.
It is,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, well, I guess we'll just land about over here. Oh, yeah, as in gesturing like where we are. Don't want to get too close, and then we'll set
Yeah.
up.
Beautiful.
We could land the mounts closer and then just keep them there and walk in.
I
Hide
don't
them
think
at
we
the
should leave
coast.
the mounts in the open. Better just
They're
landing.
griffins. If we hide them,
We could just instruct them to fly back to the ship after dropping us off.
we could also do that. Yeah.
But then poor, I keep forgetting his name.
Zephyroth.
Zephyros. Zephyros. But poor Zephyros has to keep this thing afloat for while we're all shopping. Like,
No, I
it's a
meant land, and
constant
then we
job.
take them closer. That's what I meant.
We can just
Oh.
hoof it, can't we?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, we
just
could.
10
yeah.
minutes is nothing.
we haven't walked in a few days. Come on.
Ha.
You'll be getting fat.
Honestly, that's how I feel in real life sometimes. Like shit,
Yeah.
I haven't walked a kilometer in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
We need to do something. Otherwise, we're gonna go stale. Come on, we can do it. And yeah,
It's easier for you to say.
Zephyrus, actually, can I set the tower down?
Oh, yes, I'd be delighted to. I'll be nearby.
Oh,
Does
and
it work
I'll-
with divine magics as well?
Aye, absolutely. As long as you're tapped into the weave.
I'm fully
Did
tapped
you want to
in.
go?
I don't know. Sure.
Be my
Okay.
guest.
Can I use my channel divinity to be proficient at whatever this tool is?
Ooh, you can have advantage. Final everything
Ooh.
you've got and call upon your god.
Ooh.
Well, your god's like,
I
oh look,
definitely-
I've got. Don't worry, I've got the driver's manual here.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, Danita just drops in like, hey, this is how it works.
yeah, that's it. Like you download the set.
Yeah, but
And
then
then
it just
Matrix.
expires after a while. I've used the trial period after,
Precisely.
after 10 minutes.
That's it.
So
yeah,
what
so
is
make
it?
Arcana with advantage.
I'll use my guidance as well, since he's already aiding me. Danita's
Yeah.
already aiding me. Might as well double aid me.
It's a
Nice.
perfect landing. Absolutely perfect. In fact, Denier looks like he's going to give you a hand. He's like, just takes her hands off and just lets you do it yourself.
Jesus, take the wheel, except then I take it back.
That's right. Jesus is like, have faith in yourself.
Oh, pat her on the back. Nice job.
Plonk. Thank you.
There's something you don't see every day, Ethel. What?
We just
Giant
park
wizard.
outside a farm.
That's it. Castle's got a damn wizard hat.
Wow.
I'll like do the classic like walk outside and do the whole stretching in the sunlight. But
There's
it's
dogs
freezing
barking
as
at
fuck,
you.
But
Yes, bush. Big Irish wolfhounds are going ballistic. They're like, what the fuck is that?
Well, any of you, if you guys need stuff, go to Muskin now, I guess.
yeah.
Okay.
Off we go.
I don't think I need anything,
Magnifico!
so I'm gonna
Griffin, no
stay
fighting.
here.
Yes, master. And the griffin just ignores you, just turns away.
Damn.
So you make your way towards the town, and you haven't yet reached the walls when you're accosted by a group of swaggering men, 10 or 12 of them. They don't appear to have uniforms or consistency in weapons. Some with spears, some swords, some big bellying pins. They kind of look like a gang, a pretty large gang. And the way they swagger makes it look like they're more used to walking on the decks of ships than on solid land. What are you doing here?
Going to Luxon.
What the hell's that? Points towards the ship.
It's
That's a friend
ship.
of ours.
Don't take kindly to the friends of giants in town.
So?
So
We
why
won't
don't
be
you
long.
turn around and get the hell out of here?
Are you the guards?
Yeah, they look around. Yeah, they sort of. Yeah, that's right.
And I guess
Are you
it's.
sure?
I
'Cause
guess
I'm
they're
a bounty
lying.
hunter.
Bounty hunter, eh?
Can I look through my bounties? Like pull out the wad of bounties and have a look to see if any of them have a bounty?
You look through them, and their organization does. They're from a group called the Fifth Ship, and the ships of Luskan. It's difficult to explain what they are, but they are the government, but they're also pirates. So there's a loose standing order to arrest members of the ships but that would be like the English saying arrest members of the Spanish Coast Guard. You know, it's a yeah, like yeah, you know what I mean? It's a
I'd do that.
yeah. If you get the opportunity, go ahead, but just,
Like, don't get anyone killed.
Yeah, exactly. It's not a. They're hardly important people. They're just deckhands and dickheads.
They of little import.
Oh,
We should just
That's
ignore
what
them.
D&D stands for, actually.
Deckhands and dickheads.
Yeah.
I'll pull out my flask of whiskey that I got from the halfling, and I'll say, "You look like you could need a drink to calm down," and throw it to him.
Hi. He's about to sip it, but he gives it to the small one. Here, you have a sip first. Why me? 'Cause you're expendable. And everyone laughs. And, is it poisoned?
No, it's just regular. I got it from the dwarves.
There you go. You don't even murder them in their own home. They enjoy your whiskey. Why don't you go on into Luskin?
Oh, just gonna let us pass.
Yeah. You're good blokes. Good blokes.
I was gonna try.
Thank you.
I had an idea to like try to taunt one of them to like an arm wrestle and making him fail.
Nice.
Why I order?
Do they let me pass with Wild or?
Yeah, they let you.
Oh, even me.
Yeah, even you. Kobolds are kind of welcome. We got a kobold in our ship. He's.
Okay.
All right. So you find many of you have heard of Luskin before. Stories that you've heard of some magnificent port metropolis, majestic, great galleons from merchants of half a dozen different cities, bright sails, dashing swashbucklers, greeting people, you know, with a bit of bluster and the wink and a tip of the hat, and sweeping women off their feet. But that's not Luskin. People say that's Luskin, and they ain't never been to Luskin. It's a fucking dive. It's cold. Oh, that's a good way of putting it. Cold and wet, dirty. The streets show no planning. The sewer system is non-existent. The fog is so thick that it disguises most of the rubbish until you step right into it. The whole thing stinks awfully, not just the stench of the sea and of dead fish and of people living in squalor, but the host arcane tower, the host tower of the arcane, that great tower in the middle of the river. At a distance, it looked like a twisted, branching, leafless tree, but now that you're closer, it's much more like a claw that has penetrated the earth and reaches up as if to tear apart the sky. The place stinks. It's got industrial, chemical, alchemical fumes coming out of a dozen different windows in the tips of this twisted tower. And then you see down in the dock ward, since the dock ward takes up such a large position of the city, once you come inside the walls, that is, where the thick black smoke rises out of the harbour, there is a great ship, a huge great ship, the sort of great ship that would accommodate giants. But it's burning. It's burning. It looks like this place must have been attacked, and the frost giants were defeated. Their ship is now been captured by the host tower arcane. They've dragged it up onto their island with chains, and it's still smouldering and smoking. But there are also a series of frost giant corpses that have just been left to float in the harbour among the icebergs.
Wild is going to go to the docks and look for a little ship to take him out to those bodies.
No worries. For 5 silver pieces, they'll take you out there. For a gold piece, they'll even bring you back.
I'll pay him 2 gold pieces to take me to every single one, and make sure nobody knows that I got them.
Oh, the heads.
He's looking for the head.
It's just the corpses floating there. They've already.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah.
Never mind then. Sorry. I
Yeah,
only
no.
wanted the heads from them.
You go out there and inspect them, and yeah, just great big floating, blue-skinned, bloodless giants.
Damn. I'll pay him a gold.
Mm, no worries.
Jaxus would just like to find 2 different shops that sell warm clothing.
Yeah,
Once he's found 2 different ones,
yeah,
he's gonna inspect them both about like how much they charge,
yeah,
and then he's gonna go to the one that costs more and
Yeah.
go in to talk to the guy.
All right. So the guy that costs more, yeah, he's a half elf, got blood. He's a very tall and well-built half elf with dark hair and blue eyes. He has a range of pelts. Many of them are wolf, but he has mink and Arctic fox and snowshoe hair, a bunch of others. All quality fur, thick and well made.
Did I see any quality fur at the other one as well, or not really?
Not so much. It was certainly cheaper, but the stitching was poor. The pelts weren't as thick. It was, yeah, you get what you paid for type of gear.
Okay, that's fair. Oh, I should have mentioned it. Would it be alright if I had my little barrel of like ale that I picked up from
Sure.
the apple farmer?
Yeah, not a problem.
I'll walk in and I'll say, "Hey, how's it going there?"
He
Kinda like
gestures
bummed.
but doesn't say anything, just sort of nods toward you. He has a mohawk.
What a legend.
That's really loud.
He's a
No,
punk.
nothing. So, what kind of jacket do you recommend if I'm gonna look going further north?
He raises his eyebrows. Going beyond the spine of the world.
Yeah, that's further north, isn't it?
He doesn't say anything, but his. Do you want to look pretty?
No one's really gonna see me up there, so not really. Just something that's gonna be able to keep out the cold as best as it can.
Brown bear fur. 15 gold pieces, and it's a big, shaggy grizzly bear's skin that hasn't been. It's been treated. But it's not in like a cloak form or anything. It's just this big fucking bear skin, and you drape it around yourself, and it serves as a bed as much as a cloak.
Kind of look at it. You know, I did see one like this cheaper at the other place around the corner. Do you think you could do me a better one? Do me a better deal?
More pretty?
No, make it cheaper. I saw it cheaper at the other place. Can you beat their price, or should I go buy it from them?
Make a persuasion roll at disadvantage. He's not big for barter.
Persuasion.
I like butter.
Huh.
Oh my god.
He
Okay.
says, I will trade you for steel. You have 15 gold pieces worth of arms or armor. I will take this instead.
How about ale? Do you get ale much up here?
Aye, I will take your ale.
Ale for the cloak?
So he looks at your barrel. There's half a cask left, right?
I haven't drinking any.
Oh, so it's a full
It
cask?
should be a full one. Yeah, I didn't buy
Ah.
it to drink. I just bought it
Alright.
to sell and resell value.
I've been drinking my cask.
Indeed. He thinks about it, and he
I'll
looks
let-
at
I'll
his
let him
brown
taste
hair. Yeah,
I'll
oh,
let
oh
him
right,
taste it as well.
that wins him over. Your rare sign of kindness is he hasn't had a customer be nice to him all week. So he gives you the big shaggy bear fur. It's maybe too big, but you'll be able to, trim it down and do with it what you will.
Sounds good. Pleasure doing business with you. And I'll put my hand out to shake his hand. And
He looks at your hand for a while and he extends his hand to shake yours, but it's a surprisingly limp grip, as if he's not really trained in shaking hands?
Right. I don't suppose there's anything else I should see while I'm in Luskin. I'm actually just passing through, as I said. I'm heading upwards north. No rumors about? Nothing interesting?
The Frost Giants attacked only 2 days ago. Flew into port, rammed several longships, but the Arcane Brotherhood made short work of them with fireball spells.
Interesting. Right. And they came from, obviously, the north, I gather.
Aye. The Arcane Brotherhood made the shipwreck off limits. Ain't no one allowed to go in or out. Don't think they've had time to look into it yet.
So where is off limit?
That he points towards the river. See that big tower, Arcane Post Tower Arcane? You look at that that smoldering ship at the base. It's a giant ship. They sank it with fireballs, then dragged it ashore. But it's been off limits ever since. Don't think anyone's yet really gone over it. It's been, wizards, they get all weak after they cast their spells, and for one reason or another, don't think they've given it the once over yet.
Thanks for that. I'll, if I come back this way with any other metal or ale, for that matter, I'll talk to you first.
Hey.
Have a good one.
You too, friend.
Okay, and
Can I just roll insight, just to see if he's like racist or if he's just an grumpy person all over? Because he's the same race as me, but
Yeah.
where is
Are you human?
I'm
Half elf. Yeah, he's half Uthgard, half elf. Yeah. You think that he's just resting bitch face? Like, this is an unfriendly town, and he's not used to friendly people, so he's not sure whether your joviality is bullshit or not. You seem to be a nice guy. Rare enough up here. Probably a sign of weakness, but oh well.
Okay. I'll take that into consideration about how I act and carry myself through the streets now. I'll try and act a bit more
like a tough guy.
rougher, so I don't become a target. And if I can, I'll probably head towards the spiny, the tower of magic, arcane.
Yeah, no worries.
I guess in that time, a character would be looking for a ring of warmth or similar item.
No worries.
Because
they sell them. There's a if you talk to the wizards, they don't have a trade in such things, but they do manufacture them, and occasionally they, have surplus that they don't want. So it's not like the War Wizards of Cormyr or the Wizards Guild of Waterdeep. They don't have an active trade in magic items, but you might be lucky if you appeal to them.
well, let's appeal to them, because it's the thing is, like, a jumper wouldn't help a kobold, would it? Because you need inner warmth for a jumper to work.
Kind of right, yeah. That's good science.
And prestidigitation was probably good enough for now because it's not that cold, but up north it's going to be too cold for that.
It gets pretty bad beyond the spine of the world. It's Vladivostok temperatures.
So he'd be seeking a warmth item.
All right. So who's making this trip over to the host town?
Well, it's the magic place, so Prophet would be going.
Anyone
I'll
else?
be tagging along if Prophet comes.
I wanted to get something in.
No worries. We'll do the thing in town first.
Yep.
All right. What are you looking for?
I was looking for a saddle that would fit a manticore, and 2 pieces of golden cloth that would go around the necks of both of them.
All right. The saddle will take 3 days to make a custom leather item, but they'll do it for 50 gold pieces.
All right.
All right. So yeah, it's going to take 3 days. You're able to get accommodation here at 2 gold pieces of decent food, or 5 silver pieces a day if you just some fucking dive where you can't trust the lock. So yeah, you're able to camp in the castle outside of town. And there's nothing stopping you doing that, really.
Yeah, I'll just stay in the castle and then come back. Did I get the cloth scraps as well? The gold cloth?
Gold cloth. So, do you want it to be made, or is it just, or?
It's something to just go around their necks.
Yeah, cool. Gold piece would be enough for your gold-colored cloth.
Alright. Then when I get back to the castle that I'm going to camp at, I'll put one around Griffin Gold and one around Manticore Gold, or Magnifico Gold.
Griffin Gold bears it proudly and looks at himself in the mirror while he seems not humiliated, but subservient, kind of like when you put a shirt on a dog. Yeah, the dog
I'll
knows
take it
it's-
off of Magnifico then, if it's obvious.
Wow, you're gonna show it weakness now? Wow.
Yeah.
Well, just a little bit of mercy.
The griffin looks at its own collar and starts to wonder if it means that you like the manticore more, the fact that you're pandering to it, but it keeps its thoughts to itself.
Infighting
Hope
between
so.
the
That's a good
mounts.
too.
I'll put the golden cloth on myself.
There, the griffin looks
Weave it-
proud.
Weave it into my mane.
There we go. We're brothers.
Hide around one of those. Hell yeah.
Yeah. It just flicks its tail, like yeah, a little bit stressed.
That's all I wanted to do.
Meanwhile, it's going to cost you another gold piece to get a rowboat out to the Arcane, and they ain't sticking around. You're going to have to either pay 5 gold pieces to make will be left there.
These
I'm
guys
sorry.
run a fucking hard bargain.
For the people wanting to go to the
Host Tower of the Arcane.
Yeah, that's right. You can all fit in the one rowboat, but the guys will row you out there for 1 gold. They clearly they're not the actual government, but they might as well be. And, just docking their ship on their island. Maybe today's the day when they're pissed off and they lightning bolt because and there's nothing I can do about that. So it's a risk. But for a gold piece, they'll take you out. They'll run that risk.
For a gold piece,
how
they'll run
about-
the risk of dying.
This is Laskin. Life is cheap.
Yeah, true. Okay. I'm like, how about instead, I'll pay you half of what you ask, and we'll loan the boat so that you don't have to put your life at risk, and then we'll return the boat promptly after our visit.
I'll loan you the boat for 5 gold because they think that you'll sink it. And I'll sell you the boat for 50 gold. Or you
I
can
just
throw
flick
in.
Should have
I'll throw in a
kept
pirate's
that
hat.
boat. Yeah, should have kept that boat. I'll just.
How the hell would you have gotten in town?
We'd drop it. We'll just flown over it, dropped it in the water, and jumped in. No, we'll just pay. I'll pay 1 gold to take me and profit across.
Alright, he dumps you off there, but never actually touches land, and he makes a sort of superstitious protection symbol before quickly pushing off and going back. He seems visibly relaxed when he reaches the smelly docks. And there you are, in front of the Host Tower Arcane. Its great gate closed. It's the twisted vegetation of the island, all around you, the blasted rock, and the smouldering ruin of this great longship still spewing black smoke into the air.
Well, Prophet, I have a way back. What are you gonna do? I guess I could carry you if you'd want me to.
I do not weigh much,
Down here.
but I require this item.
I can carry
I
him.
feel like we do.
Because I said I was tagging along. I might have had my mic.
No worries,
Alright,
no
okay.
worries at all.
I heard that. I heard it.
Yeah, I
Do-
also heard it.
Do the people of Luskan speak like a different language than common?
No, they speak common, yeah.
I guess we'll head up to the door, yeah? Is there a
Yep.
door?
There is this big oak door with no obvious way of opening, but as you approach, it opens itself. swinging aside, and you get this caustic stench of of various fumes of laboratory experiments, bodies kept in alcohol and formaldehyde, and it's a very bizarre place with green and red lighting that flashes and dulls and surges. And the first part of it is the area that's open to the public, such as it is. A kind of mercantile stall, sort of, a bit like an office bar with a series of tunnels and staircases leading off it. But the fellow, if indeed it is a male, behind the bar is one of the most queerest and grotesque people you've ever seen. About 4.5 feet tall, his head barely poking over this bar, which is about 3.5 feet tall, is a creature that is clearly an amalgamation of a dozen or more different races. It has the scaly face of a lizard man and the snout of a gnoll, and one of its arms isn't even a hand, but a claw. You can't tell if it's a unique creature or some horror, some horrible species that, disturbing as it is, disgusting. How can I help you? It asks. It's a voice speaking in a discordant harmony.
Right. We're Nerd. We've actually.
You've come to the right place.
No, sorry, it's an abbreviation. I've kind of lost the abbreviation. What is it exactly?
What is the
Northern
abbreviation?
Expedition.
Yeah.
Northern Expeditionary and Research Division.
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 Can you pin it? It's a little
You
bit
don't even
above
need to pin it. I remember it.
the GIF.
Anyway, we're the Northern Expeditionary and Research Division, also known as NERD for short. I would actually like to speak with some higher ups if we can. It's regarding to the recent attack of frost giants that you have.
Do you wish to join the Brotherhood?
Did you listen to what I just said, or did you just ignore it?
If you do not wish to join the Brotherhood, then the attack of the giants is none of your concern.
Okay, I wish to join the Brotherhood. Now what happens?
Do you have power in the arcane?
I would make a fireball in my a firebolt in my hand and then snuff.
You call that power?
Do you want me to release a high-powered spell right here?
Yes, I will be able to counter it.
You sure?
Do your worst.
Do your worst.
I actually kind of want to make this go wild. Okay.
All right.
I'm gonna have to. I'll make this go wild, but I'll cast. I'll tell Prophet. Prophet Ras, you might want to step back with this. I'm not sure exactly what's gonna happen, but I feel like I can control this somewhat. Hoping I don't kill everyone.
20 feet back.
I'll cast 20 feet back is good. Yeah, out of 20 feet with me, just in case.
So how do you force it to fail? Like, can they do that?
This time we'll say you can. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was going to use my Tides of Chaos while
you are?
a first level spell,
Perfect.
and that would then therefore make it happen.
Yeah, that's
So
perfect. That's
yeah.
good. You do that.
Oh, I don't want to cheese the rules at all. I will have to cast.
With Tides of Chaos, the DM could just choose not to do it.
Ray of Sickness.
Oh,
I'll
okay.
give myself
Oh.
advantage.
I would pretty much never choose that. Don't worry.
Never choose not to.
Exactly.
I guess I'll do the damage as well. And I will roll for the.
What creature do you target?
Yeah.
The weird looking creature. He said he could take it, so.
You gain a 3-foot-long prehensile for an hour. That's beautiful.
Oh, that's fucking cool as hell.
That is-
A what? A 3 meter.
Prehensile
three-
3-foot tail.
That's
It's like a
right.
monkey
Yeah,
tail.
that's
That
it.
you can
monkey
use to
tail.
grab stuff and swing around.
Fun fact:
You
that
can drink-
tail is
You can
longer
drink
than
potions with
Prophet
it and stuff.
is tall.
Does he get an extra
Cool.
action with that?
Nobody can use his bonus action to like
use
hold 3 objects. Yeah.
Okay. I'll try and I'll obviously be startled, but I'll try and pass it off as if I'm not startled and I meant to do that, and
That's
I meant to give
beautiful.
myself a tail as well. And I'll point it. I'll try and control my tail and point him with it. And is that good enough?
Very good. You managed to cast 2 spells at once. I was only able to stop one of them. Well, most impressive. Most impressive. I shall organize for one of the masters to interview you about taking you as his apprentice.
And quickly, I require a magic item.
Ah,
These
yes.
are my colleagues. They will join me in this as well.
Our stock is not extensive, but perhaps we shall have what you desire.
I require
that
an
what you'll be
item
looking
to
for?
keep me warm.
Perfect. They give you an amulet of that has an amethyst hung from a strip of black leather, and it will give you resistance to cold. It's 2,000 gold pieces.
I've got a little bit less than that.
A little bit.
Perhaps the masters will have some task for you, which they may deem worthy of giving up such a valuable item.
Taskmasters. Masters.
I'm sure as an apprentice of the masters, they shall give me whatever tools I need to complete such tasks that the masters give me. When shall I meet them?
Soon enough. Soon enough.
He's gonna kill you.
He can try. He probably could.
He's got counterspell.
All right. Well, I guess we shall leave it there for the week, and at the end, when we start the next game, you can saddle. You can meet your new master if you wish to become the apprentice and join the Arcane Brotherhood. And we, when ready, can continue further north to deliver our axe to its owner.
Cheers,
Goodbye
everyone.
to Zephyr.
Say,
Bye.
Sash.